we're done here, I'll probably try to go over there with a chainsaw
Got
or
the
two
chainsaw?
and see what we can do for their house.
It was raining in their bedroom last night.
Yes.
Oh,
How's their backyard? Because they just spent all that money.
They
to get a
did.
Beautiful backyard.
Was it finished up? I don't know if it was finished up
I
yet.
think it was nearly
Looked like it
finished, but you know what? That's all pretty solid equipment back there. So I'm sure that
On
that
the
was
front?
okay. But she has a lot of big trees around her house.
Yeah.
And so both her and I this afternoon will be sawing limbs up.
Well, if you don't have a chainsaw and you see a down tree, call 311 to report debris or down trees. There are a lot of people without power, about 900,000 people without power right
in
now.
our listening area, that's
In
for sure.
Harris County alone, 696,000 people without power. Some of the other counties, like Waller's got 10,000, San Jacinto,
and
4,800.
You can try calling Centerpoint, but I sat on hold for a while
They're
and no one
overwhelmed
picked
right
up.
now, Kevin.
But I got live wires in the backyard.
Yeah. So there are 1,500 mutual assistance crews currently traveling to the Houston area to help restore power to residents who are, not dependent on the transmission lines. By the way, some of the reports I was seeing on television this morning here in the studio, it said it could be days without power. Could be
I'm
days.
sure.
Well, obviously, because they're trying to get through the trees that went down those power lines. We just talked to some of our listening audience who was stuck in the middle of the storm yesterday on 290. Many people were in their cars when this thing came ripping through. Stacy had called us. She was really upset. She'd been in the car with her 1-year-old, and she just texted us that, "This is Stacy. I just called you guys. I forgot to shout out Kevin and Audrey because they really were the calming voice through the storm, and they helped me get home through the craziness. Thank you so much, Audrey and Kevin, for what you did yesterday."
They were, and you know what? The news station was running the baseball game.
No.
I was like, "Are you kidding me?" Because
didn't
that's
preempt?
what you do in
The
an
radio
emergency.
news
You go to
station.
terrestrial radio.
Right.
Yeah.
No, Kevin and Audrey were doing
And
the
then
duty.
Laura came in and she was
Yeah.
doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're FM.
Yeah, pop music station.
station.
And what does
Alive.
the news station do? Oh, that's the third out. Who cares? We're dying down here.
I know. People,
Well,
it was
4
very
people did
scary.
lose their lives. And once again, if you're just waking up or tuning in, the mayor has urged people against venturing into downtown. The damage is considerable. The storm blew out hundreds of windows to downtown skyscrapers.
If the storm blew out the
Glass
towers,
everywhere.
like toppled them like little tin, like little foil.
Didn't that make the wires go on? Was it on 290? And
Yeah,
then
right
the
here.
firefighters
We're
had
getting
to,
lots of pictures.
that was stopped because they watched Frank Billingsley. They had a guy out there, and he's like, "We're stopped here. Something happened up here." Then they finally get up there, and they have firefighters out there risking their lives.
Okay, so
every day.
Eric, to your
Wow.
point about Frank Billingsley, who announced that he's retiring, by the way, after 30 years at Channel 2. When I saw it was getting darker, like it was going to rain, I was like, okay, well, we just had like a regular channel on that was like a cable channel. And then I told my husband actually is never home at the time this storm happened yesterday. It was very rare that my husband and I are both home. And I said, you know, why don't we put on one of the local TV stations? And I just randomly picked KPRC Channel 2. Right at the moment where Frank Billingsley was saying, I've never seen this before. It says destructive storm damage possible. Destructive. I've actually never seen that before. And before we knew it, guys, it turned black like the eclipse.
Yeah.
And I said, we need to get in. We have one interior bathroom, like a half bathroom that's not an exterior wall. So I told the kids to get in there. My middle daughter was not taking this news well at all. Like my older daughter thought it was like, oh, we're going to go in this bathroom all together. Oh, my middle daughter was beside herself. She was crying. She was so scared. My in-laws had just driven in from Dallas because they have a doctor's appointment here today. And I was so grateful that they were already off the road and in our house. So we
Lucky.
were all in this little small area. And it was so terrifying because when Frank said, I've never seen it describe destructive storm damage possible. And then the winds, and everybody has their own experience of what happened. What happened to our area yesterday even has, as Stacy said, as a native Houstonian, we are in shock that it was that quick, that on, that off, and this much damage like an Ike.
Well,
like
it
downtown
was.
looks like after Ike.
Oh, yeah.
It was like
It's
Ike because
all messed
Ike had 100-mile-hour winds. That's what we had yesterday. The difference is
Nobody was prepared.
With Ike,
No,
we
I
had
knew
some
it was
prep time.
No,
We
I was in the
knew
middle of salad
that
and
it was
milk.
coming.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden I got to put my milk
Oh,
down.
that's a dangerous combo. And you're scared.
Oh, God.
And then he had to go to the bathroom.
I know.
I felt KHOU, they had as a producer, I was like, it's 6:58. And the guy's like, maybe it's David Paul or somebody's like, okay, If you want to watch more, go to our app, and because Young Sheldon finale is about to come on.
I know. I wanted to see what they were doing, and all the news stations had their programming on.
That finale's huge.
Yeah,
I mean,
Yes.
the
the
biggest
final
show on TV.
episode ever.
Yes.
So they cut to it because at first I'm like, what are they doing?
Yeah.
Oh, I get it. I mean, I'll go to another station, but
But the other stations also had their regular programming going.
like one of them didn't. I forget which one. but then
NBC had Law and Order, I think.
A lot of them are committed, though.
But by
They
that
have
time,
to.
it was calming down. But still, you want to see the aftermath and
Right.
see what.
Oh,
So you have
yeah.
to go to like their socials to see the Instagram stream.
What's the one
and
thing
all
you
that.
can go to? It's free. That's radio.
Yep, that's why it was good for Kevin and Audrey and Laura to
be
keep people
on
informed.
and be live and here in real life? Because a lot of stations have somebody on, but they're not.
Now,
live.
Stacy, this is another Stacy. She's been on hold for since 15 minutes.
Oh, wow.
Stacey, are you
Oh,
in the
she's still
Conroe
there?
area? Good morning. Can you hear us?
Hello, yes. Is this me?
Yes,
it's you.
Welcome to the Roula and Ryan
You
show.
seem like a character.
I've been up here going, okay, now you're talking about something that, okay, I've been through everything. Harvey, I mean, I'm 57 years old, okay? I've been through it all. And, flood car, my car flooded, blah, blah, blah.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so first of all, I got to give a shout out to everybody for when I was sick. And Ahmad knows the story. A year and a half ago, I almost passed away.
Oh, my goodness.
And now my life is like, I left Pasadena where I've grown up, where all my family's at.
Mhm.
I moved to New Caney. Eric, you actually gave me numbers to call, and I got on assistance for my medical.
Okay.
And so anyway, bought a travel trailer, and I said, you know what? When I was married, I'm a widow. When we were married, he traveled a lot, so we had a fifth wheel.
Mhm.
Bought a fifth wheel. It's a 2013. I'm having a few hiccups. No big deal.
Okay.
So last storm, trailer floods from the inside. Okay, my brother's helping me out. It's like, okay, sister, we got this. I said, bro, it's a hiccup.
It's a hiccup.
Some patches on it. It's good. Got a roof over my head. TV. I'm living life large.
Yeah, you don't sweat the small
As
stuff.
best
Right.
as I can. Okay, so bro calls. How are you doing, sissy? You're home. I said, they're talking about rain at 4. I said, I'm buying groceries right now. I said, it's raining in Kingwood.
Okay.
He
So
goes,
this is in the
"Right
Kingwood
now?"
area, or you're in the Conroe at this time?
This is at 1. I'm in New Caney.
New Caney,
but I
sorry.
drove-
Okay.
I'm in New Caney, but I drove to Kingwood.
Okay, got
because
it.
I drove to Kingwood because I like their Kroger there and I like the HEB there. And so I drive over there. And I'm like, they're talking about all this rain later. It's 1 o'clock and it's raining now. I got to get my ass home. And 'cause I live in the country.
You live in the
I
country.
live in the country.
What happened at 4 o'clock? Because we don't have a lot of
Let's
time.
fast forward.
yeah.
We've got to fast forward this
yeah,
story.
yeah.
I don't even know where it's going.
I'm scared. I'm scared to know.
Then I get home. I'm like, why aren't they even talking about this at 1 o'clock, first and foremost? I'm like, it's raining now. Like,
Because
so
up there is
I
raining.
get home. I'm out here trying to bring in, all my groceries and stuff. And all of a
1:30.
sudden, lightning. And it is funny because I got snake boots on. I don't even have rain boots. I got snake boots because we got snakes out here.
You got your snakeskin boots.
No,
Other than that,
snake boots for navigating snakes on the.
I don't know where she's going to go with
I don't know.
But what I can't actually,
Let me ask her a
Stacey, when this storm hit in the 6:30 p.m. to 7 o'clock time window, were you in your trailer by yourself?
yes.
And what happened?
And it didn't hit at 6:30. It hit at 4.
How did it hit at
Oh, so it hit
4?
you. It hit
Because you're
you
further
early.
out
Yeah,
there.
further
Yeah.
north.
Oh, because
Hit
of
their
It
the
area
hit at
first.
4.
But
It
are
hit
you
at
okay? I mean,
4.
did you get tussled around? Are you in your trailer right now? Where are you calling
Thinks yours,
from?
your trailers always
I
go
mean,
flying.
you would have thought that, somebody was going to town in the trailer, the way it kept rocking.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
Somebody-
There you go.
When the
Yeah,
trailer's
Stacy.
rocking, don't come knocking.
Stacy calls all the time.
Yeah. That was a great ending for that one.
That was going on
All
that
right.
trailer. That's
And
the way it
then
was rocking.
Someone texted in that Kingwood HEB is on point.
What makes that one so great?
People want to give a shout out to Travis Herzog
Oh,
for
my
keeping
gosh.
it on live on ABC 13 until about 8-ish p.m. To keep people informed. And yes, yesterday was a terrifying day as a Houstonian or in the Houston area where we got hit with a storm. And we are used to storms, but usually have a little bit more of a heads up.
Yeah, we do.
A lot of people were in their cars. A lot of people are at home just, Kevin was making salad and drinking milk.
At the moment right now, more than a third of Harris County is without power. At this very moment, more than a third of Harris County is without power.
I got to give Stacey a shout out for giving me some comic relief.
I know. This should make me laugh, but
Yeah.
It's like that every time I answer the phone for Stacy.
Somebody said, well, thanks, Stacey.
I'm dying.
That had what I really like in a story. An ending.
Hold on, let me hit mine.
2 hours later.
Wait. One more.
I know which one.
You could do so. You want.
All right, we got it.
Where is that kid now? I gotta know.
Where is that kid now?
idea. Have a plot.
Everyone
She
says,
did.
So much more interesting for the listener.
everyone says Kingwood HEB slaps. People are really
Go to Kingwood's HEB.
Yeah.
I have not been to Kingwood's HEB. I'm going to have to make that
What makes
an
it so much
item,
better
like a
than their
field
other
trip.
ones?
Right. How is that different
Maybe it's
from
just
the other
massive.
ones?
Like the one on I-10 in Bunker Hill is like awesome. It's huge.
It's huge, but the parking lot there, it's so hard. It's so difficult. If you don't go in the right way, you can't get in that
That's on the
lane.
Buffalo one, HEB one there, that parking. That's why I like the Bel Air one. It's got 2 levels.
Yeah.
Myron
that one
has
either.
one.
It's got a
neat.
second story. How do you get the shopping cart?
That's
upstairs?
Oh, it is awesome. It has this little contraption like an escalator that you plug your cart into and it
Takes it
takes
up,
it downstairs.
That's awesome.
Whoa,
Yes.
I've never seen
Isn't there a
that.
two-story
Yeah.
one off Washington?
The one on Washington has that as
That's
well.
a two-story,
Yes.
right?
I started, I think,
And
like
on
4 or 5
Shepherd, and then there's another one that's 2-story on Bissonnet, I think I want to say, or
Oh, wow.
The good part.
Yeah. But every time I bring a family member here, they're like, "Oh my God, this is so cool!"
Oh my gosh, we're gonna have to make a note of all the cool HEBs to go visit.
But you're not allowed to do your own cart on the
trolley thing,
No.
the trolley lift.
Yeah.
They have to have an assistant, so it happens
So is there-
gingerly.
There's like a cart master.
There's a cart
Yeah.
master. Yes, there is.
Somebody texted at 37530. I also live in New Caney, and we are all okay. LOL. Stacey, thanks for the comic relief, and I'm glad you're okay. We are here on the Roula and Ryan show. It's Roula, Ryan, Eric, Special K, and Ahmad. Sam is at home trying to deal with the damage from the storm yesterday as a tree went into
I'm
her
just glad she wasn't home.
house.
They went to NASA.
They went to NASA, and she sent us a picture.
Because her family in town, her mother-in-law and uncle are in town.
Right. So what a time to visit Houston. So the family from Pennsylvania can see a little taste of our crazy storm systems around here.
Yeah.
And for a lot of people for Stacey, she's telling us at 4:00 she got hit with this. In my area, it was like 6:30-ish.
Yeah.
And it depends on where you live and how it looked, because my sister was in Midtown, in downtown. They were going to do a catering for the restaurant. And we were in the middle of the chaos where I was actually scared. Like, you're not supposed to show your kids you're scared. I was scared. So I texted her because she was sending pictures of the layout for the catering. And I go, you have no idea what's about to happen. And where she was
she
catering,
inside
it was
by
all
windows?
glass windows. I go, you guys have got to shelter in place. This thing is coming your way. And she goes, really? It's not even raining here. I go, oh my God, we're so scared. We're in the laundry room.
Get ready, get ready,
get ready.
Yes.
20-minute head start.
So it's kind
How'd
of
it go?
weird how it was. She said it was fine. They got through the rain. I don't know how the turnout of the catering went, but they got through it just fine. The building in
injured.
downtown where she was, the windows were fine, thank God. But I know there are many windows that have been blown out all over downtown. We're making national news over those pictures today. If you were at Minute Maid Park yesterday and you'd already gone in there for the game,
Because they stopped the game.
and you're thinking, oh, everything's cool. What was it like when you left the game? Because at that point, you just stayed all the way till the end. We ended up
Did you
winning,
see
thank
that-
goodness.
The rain going in the back and the flags going. I mean, somebody.
The Crawford boxes were getting.
Caulk that those windows or something.
Yeah,
They-
that part of the roof.
something was going on because it was the flags. It was like the window was open.
713-390-KRBE. We want to hear from you how you fared through the storm and after the storm. And for those Astros fans that were in the Minute Maid Park, that they were like, okay, well, what's fine? We'll just pass it through here. What was it like getting out of downtown last night? How did you get home? We want to hear from you next on the Roula and Ryan Show.
Back to the Roula and Ryan Show.
Okay, so here we are the morning after a severe storm that killed 4 people in Houston. About 800,000 people right now without power. About a third of Harris County does not have power right now.
And everybody has a story of the shock they felt when they realized, oh my God, what is happening? I mean, all through the morning at 37530, we've said it, and I'm seeing you guys say it. As longtime Houstonians, native Houstonians who have been through Hurricane Ike or Harvey or the many Memorial Day or Labor Day floods and rainstorms, this actually scared a lot of people
because it
yesterday.
came out of
it was like
nowhere.
A tornado was about to get us.
Plus 113-mile-per-hour winds.
Yes,
Yeah.
terrifying. We're going to your
Typically,
calls.
we have a little prep time for that. We know it's coming. And really, this kind of caught us all off guard.
Exactly right. 713-390-KRBE is our phone number. We're going to try and take as many calls as we can. Let's go to Lee first. Hi, Lee. Good morning.
Hi. Good morning, Roula.
Hi. What area are you calling us from, Lee? Are you okay? What happened to you yesterday?
Well, I got home from work and my daughter said, "You won't believe what happened to me." And I said, "Well, what happened?" First of all, okay, she's 21 years old, and she works in Houston in a high-rise. And yesterday after work, she was in the middle of the damn storm, okay? And she had to pull over. She was near her cousin's house, so she pulled over to see if she was home, and she wasn't home. And she got in her car, and a branch fell on the top, and then a tree fell behind her car.
Oh, God, so close.
And it was crazy. And she saw chairs. She said, "Mama, I saw chairs flying around." And she said, "I knew I was in the middle of the storm." She said, "So I got out of my car again just to see if I could get some shelter." And she said, "So I went by her front door again." And she said, "I didn't know what to do." She had on new Zara heels that she was trying to break in.
What a time to try and break in those heels, girl.
That's arbitrary,
What
but
a time
okay.
to break those heels.
Women know how that feels, I guess.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, man, this is a bad day to try and pick these heels. Who knew that storm was coming? She wouldn't have used those heels.
Okay.
She would have been in her, boots or something.
Yeah.
Rain boots.
I got my waterproof ons.
That's right. So she's stuck in some shoes that are not comfortable to navigate a tree, nearly hitting your car to try and run for shelter. I'm glad she made it home okay. She made it to your house or her house?
No, so she's in front of this house, and and she's getting soaking wet, and she said, "Well, I can take my shoes off and run two blocks down to where her other cousin lives, in another high rise." And she said, "But what she's thinking all this really fast, right? And she has a tanning appointment to get to because she's.
Okay, now we're getting the full story.
This is Stacy's sister.
Whoa, wait a minute. I'm late to the tanning appointment. There's 113-mile-an-hour winds.
For such a crappy day, you guys are making me laugh today.
I know, it's just the regular.
I think people just want to talk because they
people
have
are telling us about
been
what their day was
isolated.
going to be, and the storm got in the way of a regular day. Some people have to go to work. Some people are going to sports. Some people have a tanning appointment.
Okay.
I'm
Once
glad your
again, by the
daughter's
way,
okay.
Because that's the worst time it hits. I mean,
when life is
about
what's
that.
happening
And it
to you
was
while you're
after
busy
school.
making other plans.
If you have sports, there's a mom that texted us that she was on the bridge in, I think it was the Baytown Bridge, and she had 2 other kids in her car because her son and those kids had to be at a mandatory basketball practice that was normal at 2:00 to say there's basketball practice at 5 or 6, and she's stuck on the bridge in her SUV.
It's Houston. We're used to rain.
Right, we're used to rain. Chris is on the line. I was asking the question, if you had gone to the Astros game yesterday, probably going to the game was fine, normal. Thought it was going to be a normal Astros day, and then boom. Chris, what happened when you were at the game? Good morning.
Hey, good morning. How are you?
We're glad we survived that yesterday, and we're safe and able to make it to work. Were you already in Minute Maid Park, or were you late to the game trying to get there in the rain? Tell us your story.
Yeah, so my wife and I and my son, we were just getting through security, and as the rain started coming in, and all of a sudden, we were by the front doors, and and some folks in front of us having a hard time getting scanned in. And out of nowhere, man, this wind just picked up and signs and chairs and everything in that security area started blowing. And everybody behind us like bum rushed the door. And everybody just, all I could do was just trying to keep my son from getting trampled. But it was wild, man. It was wild. As soon as it come in,
well, yeah, think about that because everybody who's ever been to a game, there is a line to get in to get scanned in.
They
security,
wanted to get in and be
bag
safe.
check, and there's a stampede. Like, forget it. Let's just get in there. Get in there.
Get the people in. Get them safe.
Wow.
I mean, all those windows that were being smashed downtown. It was a really dangerous situation.
Once you got inside Minute Maid Park, Chris, was there any announcement or anybody say anything, or did everything just go on time as it should have gone?
Everything just went on time the way it should have gone. There was some grounds crew out in center field that was trying to mop up all the water coming in from all the from the. I didn't see any shattered glass or anything, but there's a lot of water was coming in.
Leaking through the back,
roof.
All that glass that's back behind the train.
Minute Maid leaked.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was leaking really bad, and then the wind. It's all over Twitter and the
Crawford
dugout, the bullpen.
Mm-hmm.
They were out there trying to get the water out.
That's because we do that. We go down a little early to the game and go hang out by the bullpen.
Oh, cool.
And they won't even let us hang out down there, obviously. But there was an announcement as we were leaving to stay out, hit to the nearest highway as soon as possible. And as we were leaving, there's I'd say about a 12-inch diameter tree or so right behind my wife's car, and that tree was down and it was laying on top of a Suburban behind us, and it laying right on the windshield and everything else. So
sucks.
Yeah, because leaving the game, I was asking Chris, for those that went to Minute Maid Park, it's one thing if you were in there before, because the game started, 7:05 or whatever it was, and this storm was hitting like around 6 to 7, depending on where you were in that area. So when you left, were you even more shocked thinking, holy smokes, what happened around
the
here?
debris?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we luckily enough, I guess we picked the right route. We didn't have any debris per se on the highway. As soon as we got downtown, we were fine. We got lucky with that. Now, highways to the left and right of us, they were backed up. I guess we just picked the right one. We had no problem getting home.
But you were lucky. I mean, there were a lot of trees that got knocked down all over the city. By the way,
and downtown was full of glass because of all the glass.
If you spot a downed tree, just dial 311 to report it. Be advised, a lot of people are not going to be... A lot of people are not going to have power for probably a couple of days. They've brought in 1,500 mutual assistant crews to actually work.
I wonder how the people went, because Luis Miguel, he did 2 shows. My wife went Wednesday, and then he was last night. I'm like,
which
he's going to be there by himself.
Which venue?
Isabel.
Which venue?
Toyota Center.
At the Toyota Center. Wow. And somebody asked about 21 Savages was at Woodlands last night, but
was
that should not have gone on.
I can't imagine that because that was really hit hard. By the way, the mayor has urged people not to travel into downtown right now because the storm did blow out hundreds of windows.
Yeah, there's a lot
all
of
those
debris and glass
skyscrapers,
everywhere.
and also he's advising people to stay off the roads unless you're an essential worker this morning.
Stacy's on the line at 713-390 KRBE. We're hitting out of the ballpark. Lots of Stacy's today.
Third Stacy.
Third Stacy.
Let's see how this one goes.
Katie Stacy.
Hi, Stacy. Welcome to the Roula and Ryan Show.
Good morning.
Good morning. Are you okay? What area of town are you in?
Did you get a tan?
We are in Cypress on Grand Parkway near 529.
Oh, man.
Okay.
And I'll keep it short and sweet. It was horrible. I work from home, just gotten off of work, sat down on the couch, I had the TV on. No warning, didn't hear anything. My girlfriend was driving back from the Woodlands to Atascocita and said, get in your closet. I'm like, why? She's like, look outside. Within 3 seconds, it was pitch black.
Oh, my gosh.
Roofs were coming off. Air conditioner units were coming out of the ground. Planking was flying. Fences were coming down.
Good Lord.
I was sitting in my closet calling my dad in Florida, crying, like, please, I don't want to die.
Yep, that's what I was doing, too.
Yeah, and it was the most petrifying. I've lived in Houston since the 70s, and, this came absolutely out of nowhere. But the craziest thing is after it passed or started to pass, we still had super high wind, and we were all outside, all the neighbors, and I live literally a quarter mile from Grand Parkway, and we kept hearing, these loud banging, screeching noises. And then we heard sirens, and I was telling my neighbor, that sounds really strange.
And we went out after the storm passed. There were 12 18-wheelers on their side.
Oh, wow.
So they must
my
have all been
gosh.
crashing
And then making
from
that
the
noise,
wind.
scratching the
Yes.
ground.
Wow.
My
Yes, it
goodness.
was. The whole Grand Parkway was like blocked off. We went out to try to get food, and obviously there's no electric, and it took us almost an hour just to get 3 miles back to the house.
Gosh, Stacey, I'm so glad you're okay. But yes, you're right. Your sister calling you saying, get in the closet. And you're like, why? I mean, did you get the alert on your phone? When we got the alert on our phone, it said tornado warning.
Yes.
I said,
it.
wait a second.
Tornado warning. And I'm like, oh, okay, we've been through this before.
Right, but warning?
No big deal.
Usually we get watch.
We get a watch ahead of time. Warning means it's happening.
Coming. And that's when they got black, like the eclipse. And I go, oh my God.
But Roula, maybe some people weren't even like where I was at. I had no cell phone service. I couldn't get anything. I didn't know anything that was happening with my family or what was happening elsewhere in Houston. So there were areas where there were dead spots.
21 Savage performed.
He performed?
21 Savage was awesome. Weather blew out just in time.
Whoa.
Nice.
Remember,
Nice.
because I couldn't see NRG from my place, and then all of a sudden I
but
could
think
see
about it. Don't they hit the stage like a 9?
Yeah, by
That
the
was
time
all-
they get
Yeah.
out.
He's a part of the $25 concert ticket
Live
thing.
Nation,
Live Nation
concert week.
yeah.
Well, Stacey, we're glad you're okay, and I hope the rest of your neighbors fared as safely as you did. But I know there are many people who are in a bad way. When we come back, we're going to hear Special K's harrowing story of being home, thinking that exactly what you did. You thought you were going to die.
Did the storm break your voice?
Eric, what happened to your voice?
I don't know what happened. It just turned out that way. I don't know. 83%. We represent the lollipop deal.
What was? We are listening, but not listening.
No.
And
We're trying to get you all of the
that,
latest
Eric?
information, and we're in the last
my
commercial, and then we hear
God.
that, and we're like, Eric, what's wrong?
I don't know.
What happened with that, Ahmad? Do you think it was like a compressed audio
I
file
have
or something?
no idea.
That made me pee my
Oh
pants.
my God! Somebody said, "What is that voice? Who's stuck on the helium?" Oh my God!
The storm really traumatized Eric.
I got hit in the Linux.
We're trying to keep you up to date with all the latest
Somebody
information.
said, Why
now.
is Eric talking like an alien? Why is Eric on
Oh
helium?
my God!
Oh my God! That
That
gave me
was
such a belly laugh.
that was the laugh I needed
was
this morning.
hilarious.
It really was.
So here we are in the Roula and Ryan show. It's Roula and Ryan, Eric, Special K, and Ahmad. Sam had damage at her house, so she and her family are dealing with that. And Special K had
awesome.
quite the terrifying time, I think, out of all of us. You and Sam had it the worst, Kevin.
I thought when I got that warning on my phone, I thought, well, let me put my milk down.
Yeah, by the way, Houston,
Milk and
Kevin
salad.
likes to enjoy a salad with a cold glass of milk.
Oh, that sounds so revolting.
So I'm having my afternoon snack, and I'm like, wait, this cannot be true. We get warnings and whatever all the time. It's not going to come through the heights. Well, here we go. It blackens out, and Booster is not home yet. And I'm like, uh-oh, Booster, where are you? Where's my husband? He's on the road. He's going to get blown off the road. So I call him, and it starts to get really dark. And he's like, I'm stuck underneath of an overpass. And I was like, well, you need to stay there because I think it's going to get really bad. So we're watching a dog, and I grabbed this little dog, and I went to the stairwell, underneath the stairwell. And I live in a brick house. I thought it would be okay. And so I open up the door, and of course, it's full of junk. We used it for storage. I can't even get in there. So here I am throwing the stuff out of the closet. And the dog's like, what are you doing? And so then I feel the house start to shake. We get in the closet. We close the door. And then I'm still on the phone with Booster. I'm like, okay, I got to let you go. And then I feel the pressure. And I'm like, oh my God, this is it. This is it. It's going to suck the roof off of this house. And I'm never going to see any of y'all again. And I'm going to be laying out in the middle of 610 because the tornado picked me up. So here we go. The pressure's happening. My house is shaking. And I'm thinking it's over. I'm holding on to this dog so tight. And I've hung up with Booster at this time. But I'm like, I got to call him back. I need to say bye or I love you or something like that.
So scary.
And so I'm sitting there and shaking with the dog, and the house is just about to blow up, and I hear all these smashes and bangs and explosions of whatever's going around my house. And then finally it stopped shaking, and I do get a hold of Booster, and he's like, God, it's so bad right here. I was like, just stay there, stay there, stay there. And he's like, I don't know, maybe I should try to get home. I was like, no, just stay. There's a bunch of cars around him, and he was underneath the overpass. And so this house stopped shaking, and I open the door, and the dog is trembling, and I am too. And I finally get a hold of. And I'm sorry. I'm talking to Booster, and I'm looking out the back door window, and I'm like, "Oh my God! There's a tree on top of my truck, and there's no power in the house, and I can see that the electrical lines are over top of my truck now, on top of the tree. The tree's down the front yard. I can't. Obviously, I'm not going to go outside and do anything about it then, but I really thought that was it, y'all. I really have never felt that." Ever. And when you feel that pressure in your ears and what you hear about is so true. And I'm glad I have a brick house because the house kind of across the street is gone. It got smashed down to smithereens.
That's scary.
And luckily, but by the time the storm had passed, the electric was off on that wire that was over top of my truck. Trust me, I checked. I have the tools. And so, and then Booster finally came home, and we pulled my truck out, and that's how I was able to get here this morning. But I was like, well, we have our electric lines are ripped off the top of the house. We're not going to have power forever. So I called my renters at the other house. I was like, can I please come and get my generator? Because it's stored over the other house. And so.
And you had the devices to check to make sure those wires were dead.
Because you should not be getting near power lines.
I checked the thermostat at my other house, which I still have access to. And I was like, oh, it's running. So we went, Booster and I jumped in the truck, and we went over and got the generator. Don't you know that the generator started up, but the breaker on it keeps popping? It's like a GFI, and it keeps popping. So I went all that way to get it, and we can't run anything because it keeps popping. So if anyone knows how to fix that, 37530, let me. What do I do? Just replace the GFI? I don't know, but I will be without power for a long time. I'm sure, y'all. I've tried to call CenterPoint and tell them about the live wires in the backyard, but it's just I just sit on hold the whole time.
Yeah, you have a gift card over there. You won something, right?
3 years ago at a KRBE Christmas party, I won a one-night stay at the Omni Hotel plus a $150 spa gift card.
Oh.
And I never used it. Why would I ever want to have a staycation? Tonight I will.
Yes, you
Tonight
will.
I will. I emailed the boss. I was like,
do they have power? At the Omni tonight.
Can I cash this in?
3 years later?
So wait a second, Kevin. Have you checked to see if they have power right now?
You know what? I didn't, but from what I remember, they do have a generator there, and they probably have more power than I do.
I'm going to text my
So as it stands right now in Harris County, more than a third of Harris County is without power. About close to 700,000 people without power.
I think that area got it back because my in-laws live over near that Omni. They were out of power till like 5:30 last night.
When you add all of Houston and the surrounding counties, about 900,000 people without power. And what they're saying right now is that they're bringing in 1,500 mutual assistant crews to, they're traveling in from other states. They're coming here to help us.
That usually happens with all the different storms. We always get different linemen that come from all the other states.
What was your thought, though? Like, when you thought could it be the end? Were you thinking
I thought that
your husband? Were you thinking about?
Yeah,
what were you thinking about?
I was definitely thinking about Booster because he was literally out there in the middle of it.
In a car.
Yeah, in the car. Don't make me cry.
No. I just wondered, what? Because that would be so scary.
Why'd I hang up the phone? I should have stayed on the phone with him.
What part of town was he in?
He was at the exit near, I guess, 18th Street and 610.
Okay.
And Kevin, you're not lying about that. Why'd you hang up the phone?
Yeah.
You were in a much different position, but even my mom's to check on her, I was thinking, should I hang up with my mom right now?
Because I also wanted to call.
Did you FaceTime or was it
no? I was like, there's probably not enough signal to do that. I was also like, well, I need to call my mom too, or I need to call my dad.
Just because it's comforting. I mean, your parents don't live in the state, but you're comforting. I'm glad you're okay.
Yeah, I'm so glad. And I'm going to Sam, if you're listening, I'm going to bring the chainsaw over, and we'll get that stuff off your house.
Do you have any tarps or anything?
Don't worry.
She said it was raining in her bedroom.
I probably have a tarp that I could bring over there as well. I've got some.
What's the weather this weekend? What are you going to get?
Hot.
It's going to be hot and sunshine. It's going to be in the mid-90s tomorrow.
I mean,
today it'll be in the 80s.
I love to run a chainsaw, but not in this sense. I love to cut things, but this is not how I wanted to do it.
I know.
There's
Kevin,
so many down lines right now.
Somebody texted at 37530 that the reason your generator might be popping is you could have a short in what you're plugging into the generator. So maybe go get a GFI plug from one of the
Yeah, I have one. I'm going to replace the GFI plug and
Have
see if
any of
that'll do it.
y'all been to like a grocery store right now?
Well, no, I didn't go last night.
Well,
I didn't go
some
this
of
morning
them
before
are
the show.
closed because of the power, but and I'm sure those are the ones where the toilet paper's all gone.
Yeah, I know. I don't know why everybody
Jeff
likes
Linder,
to hoard
who
that.
is our, flood czar, he is the hurricane man. Like everybody watches him on
Which
TV.
happened, June 1st that starts?
Yeah, June 1st hurricane season begins, but this is kind of like a little precursor of Mother Nature telling us what I can do.
These were hurricane
Jeff
level
Linder
winds.
Posted on his Facebook, based on structural damage and some images widespread, the winds of 80 to 110 miles an hour impacted areas from Brenham to Cypress to downtown Houston to Galveston Bay. Radar was showing winds of 120 to 130 miles an hour just above the surface. Wow. And some of this may have mixed down into the isolated areas. Within the larger swath of strong winds, it is likely there were pockets of tornado damage, but most of the damage over the metro area was straight line winds. The National Weather Service survey teams will be out investigating the areas of enhanced damage to determine any tornado damage and intensity that may have occurred. And he posted lots of pictures, different ones of downtown you've probably seen already, the downed towers in Cypress.
It's kind of reminded me of in '99, the big tornado in Fort Worth. Remember, Ryan?
Yes.
You lived in
Eric and I were living there, and it knocked out all those windows, all the skyscrapers.
Yeah, it destroyed that whole building. They had to
tear it down.
They were going to blow it up, but then 9/11 happened, so they couldn't blow it up.
Right.
They had to try and tear it down.
Tear it down the old-fashioned way.
But yeah, to see downtown with all those windows like that.
Yeah, and these buildings that like half the brick is missing from the buildings. And there's a Noel who works here on KRBE as a DJ, is also a club DJ, and his main club was destroyed last night.
Yeah, it's crazy. ABC 13 has the video. It's destroyed. Like you could see the lights hanging outside the building.
Was that the one?
Yeah,
that was the one.
Yeah. Really bad.
Whatever you do, don't drive downtown right now. Unless you're an essential worker, the mayor does not want people on the roads.
I don't know what
4
building
people
this is,
have
Eric.
lost their lives, y'all. 4 people have lost their lives. We had 100-mile-an-hour winds
Plus,
downtown.
even like if you're like Kevin, you went with the chainsaws and you want to go out today and cut, just be careful because those other trees that are
Not sturdy.
because the ground is
falling
so,
on you.
Yeah, they could fall.
If you see one that is down, call 311 to report debris or downed trees. That's the number 311.
Yeah, a lot of grocery stores are without power, people are saying.
One person texted us that the HEB on San Felipe is open because they have a generator. So that was just a little update there. You can also text us at 37530 and you can be our eyes and ears in your neighborhood because we can't see it all. And it's really up to you guys to give us the information of what you see is open. Like if there's a gas station open near you because, the pumps are electric, so there's no power, you can't get gas. And, usually in a storm we're preparing. They say, fill up your tank so that you don't have like a half or less than a half. But most people didn't even know it was going to rain like this yesterday.
I got to go fill my tank up.
So now you're thinking, oh gosh, do I need some gas? Or, if you're staying home and not really planning to drive today or tomorrow too much, then it shouldn't affect you. But if you are going far away to commute to wherever your job requires you to go and you had less than half a tank,
or if you
you're
got
probably worried about that.
If you drive one of those electric car Teslas and stuff.
Oh, you're out of luck.
Actually, when I was driving to the radio station today, there's a Tesla dealership across Gessner, and all of that whole side had power. So all their Tesla charging stations were bright, glowing red. I could see it in the dark.
Surge price or something. Don't they charge you extra?
I have no idea how that works.
Like if there's a bunch of they're full, they charge you more or something.
Oh, by the way, somebody would like to remind everybody, friendly reminder, if you do go to the grocery store or the HEB that Roula just said is open, be kind and be patient to the partners that are trying to get through with you and to get you through the lines as quickly as possible.
Remember, we're going to have power back in a couple of days.
Hey, did you get that listener line?
I do.
Because I want to give a shout out to Laura does nights and Kevin and Audrey because they were on
during the storm yesterday.
And everything.
Yeah, they went through the whole thing.
And here it is.
Oh, hang on a second. I'm sorry. It just shut down. Here we go.
My power's out because of the storms, and CenterPoint is no help because I don't know what the outage looks like. I read it's 900,000 people, but Laura, that I can hear on the radio at 104, is giving advice and tips and websites, and it's just been really helpful to have news we need to hear coming out of KRBE. So thank you, Laura, for that.
Yeah, good job, Laura. And that's the great thing about KRBE. We actually have live people in here. It's not piped in from another town like some other radio stations
Right, and
are.
I was talking about this earlier, how immediately I listened to the news station, but they were not doing anything about the storm. It was just the baseball game. There's nothing helping. It was Laura and Kevin Quinn and Audrey on the pop music station on KRBE. Giving Houston.
Here we are. We're a top 40 radio station, but, we're all about the community. We actually got another nice call that came in this morning. I believe this is from Twan.
That was crazy last night. That tornado came out of nowhere. I hope all of y'all are safe. All of y'all have power. Even Ryan. I'm so thankful for y'all being on the air right now and giving us an update of what's happening in the city. I'm so thankful for that. Thank y'all so much for doing what y'all do. I cannot stress that enough. I thank y'all so much for giving us updates and staying on top of everything and being on the air and giving us a source of information. People ask us how much do we love our city. We are H-Town until we drown, baby.
That's right, Twan.
I don't think that's Twan. Doesn't sound like Twan.
Okay, I don't know.
No.
Twan then at the end would say something about Ahmad being the greatest champion of rapid fire.
Yeah.
Well,
no, I think that was your fan, the one who...
Alex?
Yeah, I think that was Alex. Yeah, I mixed it
on
up.
text at 37530, updates in your neighborhood. Yeah. Everything is up and running in Clear Lake, says this texter. So if people need groceries, all the stores seem to be open over here. If you need gas, the gas stations have power to run the pumps. So if you can make it over there, that's fine. That is what is one good thing about this limited, these little pockets of, for some people might be down for 4 days without power. Others never lost it at all. Yeah. So there are little places closer in where you can find
go to
salvation.
Other areas.
Yes.
Like where I grew up, it's like 20,000 people. We only had the Eagle and the Kroger. That's the two stores we had. If they're down, you're screwed for 40 minutes away.
Right.
When we come back, phones are full. We can take calls.
713-390-KRBE. Thanks for calling in. Stand by. We'll take your calls next on the Roula and Ryan Show.